Welcome to Travel Michigan. I'm Dave Lorenz, along with Michelle Grinnell. And Michelle, who's our first guest of the program?
Our first guest is Elise Walter, who is the communications specialist with the Department of Natural Resources, and she is here to tell us about Michigan's Free Fishing Weekend, which is a great opportunity for folks to get out and try this sport that Michigan does so well. So welcome to the show, Elise.
Thank you for having me.
And let's start just with the basics. When is it happening, and what is Free Fishing Weekend all about?
Well, Free Fishing Weekend actually happens 2 times a year, every February and every June. We've been celebrating Summer Free Fishing Weekend since 1986, when it was written into state statute to always fall the Saturday and Sunday following the first full week of June. So that means this year the weekend will fall Saturday, June 7th and Sunday, June 8th. What Free Fishing Weekend means is that no fishing license is required for in-state anglers or visiting anglers from other states if they decide to go out fishing that weekend.
So, Elise, what fish are available to fish that weekend of June 7th and 8th?
What's wonderful is that because Michigan has so many different types of fish species, we have 154 species available to fish for throughout the state. So there's lots that you could fish for that weekend. I will say that there's only one season that's not open that weekend, and that is fishing for largemouth and smallmouth bass on Lake St. Clair and the St. Clair and Detroit rivers, but all other fish are available for targeting, whether that be panfish like bluegill or red ear sunfish, perch, walleye, muskellunge, northern pike, trout and salmon. There's a variety of species that you could target in waters all throughout the state.
Wow. So does that mean if you bring up like a 6-foot sturgeon, you can pull it up?
Yes, but you should have a lake sturgeon fishing season. I mean, a fishing license if you do end up targeting sturgeon, because please note that they have a very regulated season.
Ah, okay. Well, and the thing is, those fish just scare me anyway. So
they would throw it back.
They shouldn't. They're quite gentle.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they don't look it.
But
I know.
At least we should mention this is both for Great Lakes fishing and inland lakes.
Correct. Any water body, whether that be your favorite watering hole a couple miles down the road that's just a gravel pit, or if you wanted to go out on Lake Michigan and take one of our world-class salmon charters, all opportunities are available for pursuing that weekend.
Wow. Well, so now, if somebody has not really, been a fisher person in the past,
angler, we call them.
An angler, and we want to kind of encourage them to maybe get out there themselves, or maybe they don't fish on a regular basis, but they want to encourage their kids to do this. How do you get started on just kind of getting out there and trying it?
Well, what's great about Free Fishing Weekend is that we have formal events coordinated throughout the state. This summer, we hope to push more than 40 events available in local communities throughout Michigan. We have them all the way up in the Upper Peninsula down to the southeast corner. And they range from things like fishing derbies for kids to really get involved with, from weigh-in opportunities, so contests where adult anglers are looking for the biggest, heaviest fish caught, to just festivals, so where you can try your hand at different fishing skills, whether that be flying ties or casting a line. And so those things are really great opportunities for novice or inexperienced anglers to touch base with and kind of learn those skills and learn the things needed so that potentially after Free Fishing Weekend, they can be encouraged to buy their license and go out on the water again and pursue additional opportunities.
Well, and even though this is the Free Fishing Weekend, I presume you still are required to follow all the other rules, a minimum size and, a maximum number, all that.
Of course, the only rule that's not in place is that you don't need the license. But yes, all other rules and regulations do apply, which you can find in our annual guide. The 2014 Michigan Fishing Guide is in effect from April 1st, 2014 until next March. And you can pick that up at any licensed retailer or your favorite sporting goods store, and then it's also available online.
Elise, are there any species that are especially good to target this time of the year, early June?
Well, I would say it's really up to angler preference, but a lot of anglers at this time of year are targeting things like walleye in certain water bodies. They're starting to get more excited about bass season, although there is the certain area that you cannot catch and keep. A lot of areas are catch and keep at that point, and they want to take the opportunity to target those types of species. But throughout the summer, a lot of people are just looking to target panfish. Bluegill are probably the fish most anglers would catch anytime they go out fishing, and so a lot of people are looking forward to going out and finding those species.
I've never heard the term targeting fish because, for me, I would go out like sucker fishing as a kid, and before you know it, I'd have a northern pike, and would fight like the living dickens, by the way.
Right.
So I just take whatever fish I could get.
Well, yeah, you sound like me. My philosophy is any fish is a good fish
That's
to
right.
catch. So.
Well, it sounds like great. So the big free fishing weekend's coming up June 7th through 8th. And, to get all that information about limits and, sizes that are required and all that, what's the website we go to?
I would encourage folks to go to www.michigan.gov/free fishing. Everything they could think of in regards to this year's free fishing weekend will be available at that website.
And would you recommend that people go into the normal fishing shops for not only the equipment, but maybe to talk to the experts, the folks who really know the waters in the area about what fish they could expect to get?
Of course.
And
A
all the
bait shop
rules.
is going to be an excellent resource as far as getting the inside scoop on a water body that you might be interested in fishing. And you bring up a good point. A lot of those bait shops and retailers provide us information that actually goes in our weekly fishing report that's produced for every Thursday morning. So those folks really know what they're talking about and are really going to give you those little tips and tricks that might make your trip that much better.
Sounds great. Thank you, Elise. Elise Walter, Communications Specialist with the Department of Natural Resources. And for more information about Free Fishing Weekend, just go to this website, michigan.gov/free fishing. That's a great idea. Speaking of a great idea, it might be heading to Detroit for the big birthday party. We'll tell you more next, right here on Travel Michigan, where your trip begins at michigan.org.